Okay, so we're gonna actually do a talk along to the first episode of Gossip Girl. I've been trying to figure out a way to cover this where like there's so many themes that happen, and I was trying to figure out how I could like talk to you guys about it and make it make sense. Oh fuck. Okay, that's not good. Whatever. So I have it on Max here, so I'm just gonna talk along. So we're at Grand Central Station. That's in New York. It's like literally a bus terminal. So everyone's getting dropped off at the bus terminal. Oh no, this is gonna die. Fuck. Well, we'll just get as far as we can get. It's so funny. They have like a sidekick phone. Can you see the sidekick? Oh, old ass phone. So basically, Serena Vanderwoods and his Blake Lively is like lonely boy who's played by the guy who plays you. He starred in this TV show. So he's in love with her. She doesn't even know who he is, but they both go to the same like up private school in the Upper East Side of Manhattan. Now, also, these are the Humphreys. That's what their names are. And he's got a little sister. Her name is Jenny. So Serena, the really rich, popular girl, played by Blake Lively, she's in Grand Central Station. She's waiting for her chauffeur to pick her up. Jenny and Dan, that's the guy's name, they're waiting for their dad to pick them up. So everybody's at Grand Central Station because they're all back in town. Summer's ending, school starting. Okay, so I set the scene. So some girl just saw like Serena at the station, some other girl who goes to school, and so she sends it a picture, like a text message to her blog site, and then everybody starts sharing the photograph around. So now everybody knows that Serena's back in town. Also, just know that this is like episode one, and Rihanna is playing on the radio. She's wearing like an unfitted dress, and her mother comes up to her like, "If you're gonna wear my designs, at least make sure it's fitted." They're talking about like colleges that Nate's gonna go to. He's deciding between like Dartmouth and USC. It said things were getting a little dull, so they're happy she's back in town. They're such little bitches. Like, why do they only want people to come in town to start drama? Why can't they just be happy that she like exists? You know what I'm saying? Also, Nate and Blair are fucking on the couch. That's like a whole seriously, Nate. He does not love Blair. He's saying he loves her. He does not love her. The funny thing is, I think at this point, Blair is a virgin and she's never been with anyone but saving herself for Blair. And then Blair and Serena are best friends. She does not want to get out of bed to go say hey to Serena. No, she doesn't. So somebody is locked up. It's her brother. No, she didn't. She said she just wanted to come by and say hi. The girls are confused because they're wondering why Blair didn't know that Serena was coming. So Serena's like walking into a hospital now. And then you have Dan reading Gossip Girl, which is so weird. Guys don't read Gossip Girl. Be serious. That is such a girl thing. Ugh. Oh wow, then she sleeps at the hospital. The hospital's a real place. It's got its own story. We could tell that story on another day. I just don't feel like it. I'm not telling that story. I'm sorry, I'm not. I also just want to say for the record, if you think I am the hospital bitch who's gonna tell you the stories of the hospital, you got me fucked up. I'm not your hospital bitch. I'm not telling you guys any of the things that happened in the hospital. Mostly because I hate you. That isn't the only reason, though. Part of it is because you wouldn't believe me anyway. Like, half of you guys are like fake. But for the people who are genuinely interested in my story, like, I don't really feel like rehabilitation centers are a positive place. Mm. And I don't think that therapy alone is a positive thing for black women at this moment. I think that therapy coupled with almost like community membership in some community of black women, even if it's just following a few other black women on YouTube, coupled with like real relationships in the real world. Like, I used to think that like by isolating myself for longer periods of time from everyone would help me uh grow into a place where I was like strong enough to interact with the other people, but I've realized over time that you never get to a place where you're strong enough, and if you keep waiting for the day when you'll be strong enough, you'll be waiting forever, and you can't wait forever. Like, you have to go. Mm. And um there's just all these things that happen every day, and people grow from those like micro interactions, and if you aren't a part of those micro interactions, then your character profile like doesn't exist in the real world. This is why like Shahidi can like have a whole TV show about my literal real life and y'all believe it because I was like actually living the life. But imagine like if I wasn't there, like if I wasn't actually in the real world on the campus doing those things, the show wouldn't make any sense because it would be like a fairy tale or something. Because also, like, I keep saying this and like y'all really don't understand, like I just had a lot of privilege, like so much privilege. Now, my privilege has not manifested into the same outcomes that maybe some of you guys will have because of TikTok and like all of the other shit. But I definitely didn't walk away with nothing because I never walk away with nothing. I'm not that kind of bitch. As long as I got this mic, this here mic, I bought this here mic right and straight with my own money. It's paid for, all right. Anyway, let's keep going. This is a mad interesting episode. She's like, Eric, I know I've been a terrible sister. She's like in the hospital hugging him. She can't take Eric to breakfast because he can't leave the hospital. Because that's how it is. When you're in the rehabilitation center, they don't let you leave at all. Ever. Eric tried to take his own life, her brother. And Serena was away in boarding school. I think that boarding school is good for children. Spence, all of the other boarding schools are good for children. He definitely reads Gossip Girl. Okay, so this is Jenny making invitations for the Kiss on the Lips party. She's not invited to the Kiss on the Lips party. So her dad isn't. Wait, I'm going to explain this. Okay, so her dad is an anti-capitalist musician, but he puts them in private school, and he says it's for their education. Now, um, that's really hard, but also that's really true to life because, like, once you get far enough down the money rabbit hole, this is like where I started, which is why things get tricky. Like, I can't talk about all the other shit. I feel like my whole life I was Jenny, where like Dan Humphrey and the Humphreys they have a lot of privilege. They just don't have a lot of money. Having a lot of privilege though equates to you making decisions that will put your family members, especially your children, in places of like in prosperous places. So you'll know what schools to go to, what organizations to join, what internships to go after, what majors, what schools are hot for particular things. Like just being in the space, you learn the lingo. Now, this is why some of you guys are like just now hip to certain phrases. You see certain shit that people are talking about on Twitter. You're like, this is from 10 years ago. Why are you dressed like that? Why is your hairstyle from the 20s? Like, you're ugly. All these things. Like, if only you were in the right place at the right time a while ago, you would have known. That's another reason why I continue to talk about Tish. Everyone can say whatever they want about LA and Hollywood. Hollywood is 10 years behind New York, and it always has been. If you want to know what's hot, what's hip, what's now, what's cool in like human civilization in the world, go to New York. There's like pages now that are just like, what are people wearing in New York? They like highlight people. Like, I found a ton of cool models to follow just from that one Instagram account. Like, New York is popping. Like, and I'm not just saying it's popping because like Jay-Z made a song like New York. I'm saying it because there's like the high fashion models of the world have been in New York in the past, and they still are. Nothing has changed. All of the biggest fashion designers are demoing their shit at New York Fashion Week, Paris Fashion Week. Like, all that shit hits New York before it hits California and LA, and you bite off it and you see like whoever your favorite Hollywood instafluencer is, like it hits New York way before it hits here. That's why New York is cooler. New York is cool. New York is cool. It always will be. Mm. But New York is fast, and New York is serious. It just is. And I want to sit here and pretend like I know, but to be honest, I don't even feel like I really know because like I haven't lived. I only lived there for one summer. Okay. I did one summer in New York and I learned a lot. I mean, a lot. Probably changed my life for the better. Maybe it did, maybe it didn't. Just because of some of the other things that I was like kind of dabbling with at the time. But yeah, we did go down that rabbit hole. Damn, we haven't even gotten through this episode at all. We're gonna have to cut this. This is gonna die. You guys remember how I was talking about those like apartments in New York that are like for super rich people that Kerry Washington did not grow up in? Serena Vanderwoodson did. She's saying she has to be late and she's just sitting chatting with Nate, basically because she loves Nate. She's saying she didn't come back for Nate. That is the way things are supposed to be, Nate. And Serena did not come back for him. And Dan is catching the bus. Here's what Dan says. There's something disturbing about that level of perfection that needs to be violated. You know, that's what I'm saying. Guys are awful because they actually say shit like that and they really mean it. Like, it's not all guys, but there's like a significant portion of them who actually fucking feel like that. Who the fuck does that? Losers. Okay, see, they're giving out the invitations to the party. Can you see this? Hi, I'm Jenny. Serena wasn't invited to the party, if that wasn't clear. Passive aggressive. She said, actually, until 5 minutes ago, we thought you were in boarding school. And so Jenny actually used up all the invites. And Jenny was like, actually, I can make her one. And she said, fuck you, Jenny. You can go now. Shoo shoo. It was just like, God. Oh my God. You hate her so much, Blair. You're so evil. You're so evil. Like, also, let's just screen caption that face. It's a real thing. Like, you just feel like, oof. She's trying to deal with Blair's bullshit, but nobody can deal with Blair's bullshit because Blair's the fucking worst. She fucking is. The Palace, 8 o'clock. Spotted on the steps of the Met. Did S think she could walk home and things would be just like they were? Who the fuck does she think she is? You're my best friend. And then Serena's on the steps alone eating yogurt. Oh my God, Dan is talking about MySpace. He is legitimately talking about MySpace. Okay, we're gonna stop this for right now. We're like what 20? We got 29 minutes in, and he has a BlackBerry fucking phone with a text message from Jenny, bro. Like, if you want to know how antique this shit is, but the drama is so 2023.